quilters, I have a brand new tool to show you. This is our tree tool. It will make the most lovely evergreen tree for your quilts, but it will do so much more. Shall we explore? All right, ladies and gentlemen, this tool has 4 parts to it. It has lines that have the center of the tree. These are going to be the lines that you use to line your tree trunks and your tree branches as we do the quilting. There's a top branch, there's a middle branch, there's a lower branch, and of course, the trunk of the tree. Now, like a lot of our tools, this tool is going to be used by flipping it over. So the bottom has got fabric gripping action, but the top doesn't. Spray the top of your template with Grippy. Let's make the basic tree design. For that, I'm going to start at the top, and I'm going to start at my top branch. Right here is the center of tree line. There's my center of the tree. So I line up my template with the center of a tree on my line, and I can begin sewing. All right, note I'm not back to the line, but this is the stopping point. That's the top of the tree. Turn your template and find the middle of the tree. Line up your center of tree line on your registration line on your quilt and stitch the middle branch. There's the middle branch. Find the lower branch. Stitch your lower branch. All right, you've got 3 branches. Now it's time for the trunk, right there, or the base of the tree. Again, it has a center of tree line. We're going to stitch down, across, and over. Now we just need to put the 3 branches in reverse. So we're going to go back to center of tree, but I need to flip it over. Flipped over. We're starting at the bottom of the center of the tree, or bottom of the lower branch. We're aligning the center of tree line on my registration line on the quilt. Lower branch is done. Flip to middle branch, lining up on the bottom. All right, there's the middle branch, and top branch will bring us back to the top. One tree for you to play with. Now, what are we going to do with the tree? Well, it'll make a lovely border, but let's fill a block. So I've already lined and marked out a 6-point block. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 60-degree angles between each of those. Now, let's play. I'm going to again start with the top branch. First, let's get her started in the center. Let's come down with the top branch. Remember to align the center of tree line with the registration marks. Top branch, middle branch, lower branch. Trunk time for the base. Lower branch, middle branch, and the top branch. Alrighty, there's 2 trees. Let's keep going. Here's number 3. And there's tree number 3. 1, 2, 3. Halfway there. Tree number 4. And there's tree number 4. Let's go on to 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's number 5. Let's get number 6 done and we'll be all done. There is number 6. Voila, a lovely design for your Christmas quilts. That's the way you do them when you're starting with the tips rotating around the center. If you want to have the trunk of the tree rotating around the center, what we have is a set of lines, center of tree. 4 is for lining up with 4 trees. 6 is for lining up on 6. And 8 is for an 8-point grid. Let me show you how that works. This is what the 4-point looks like with the base of the trees touching each other. When you're lining it up, here's my lines right there. So I lined up the base of the tree, 4 and center of tree on the center of the block. And that's how I lined it up as I went around. Let's look at the 6. This is the 6 in a block design. Note the hexagon that is made in the very center. But here's my lines. 6s are always on a diagonal. So your center right here where the 6 and the center of tree cross, that's your center. So you can line up one line, the center of tree line on one line, and your 6 on the one that crosses through the center. That's how that one works. This is my favorite. This is an 8-point grid using the trees as the base. Note the octagon that's in the center. So here's your octagon. You can see the lines that I had in there. They're fading a little bit. Again, where the center of tree and the 8 cross, that's your center. Line it up, and there's your base. And that's how you get them started. So let's do an 8-point tree. I've taken my stencil and I have marked an 8-point grid on the quilt. So we're going to start by lining up the center of the grid I've marked and this center right here on the quilt. That's going to get me the distance away from the center to put my tree, the base of the tree. So I've taken the center of the 8 and the center of tree, lined it up on the center of my marked grid, and now I'm dropping my needle right there. All right, so now we're going to go up. I've gone up one side of the trunk. I need to put in a lower branch going off to my left. So I line up my template, center of tree, and stitch the lower branch. Time for a middle branch and a top branch. All right, time to come back down the tree. Middle branch and lower branch. Now we finish the trunk. I started in this corner to make it easy to go to the next one. So all I have to do is go down and over. Now, when I rotate the template to the next axis, which is a diagonal one, I can line up again 8 line and my center of tree on a new set of crosshairs that goes through the center. So now I can go over and up and repeat. My new center of tree is the new diagonal line. Lower branch, middle branch, top branch. So here's the lower branch of the second tree. Now, we're ready for the base. I'm going to line it up again in case anything's gotten shifted a little bit. And I'm going to come down to the corner. I'm going to go across so I can set up for the next tree. Rotate the template, line it up, and continue it on. A lower branch. All right, I'm down at the bottom of the third tree. I'm going to align my branches, my bases together on over and line up on the new diagonal. Always making sure center of tree and 8 goes through the center of my grid. All right, so again, I'm lining up my center of tree line with the 8. Where the crosshairs are is where we're lining up there. All right, there's tree number 5. I've got 6, 7, and 8. Hang for a few minutes and I'll be back when I've got almost done with 8. Here's the lower branch of the last tree. Tree number 8. And I'm just gonna come on down with that trunk. Finish it off. And tie her off. Isn't that a lovely design? Kind of looks like a snowflake, huh? So, this is brand new. We have 3/16, we have 1/4 inch, and we have 1/8 inch. As a preview for what else this will do for making border designs, as well as many different other designs. That will be covered in another session. I hope you enjoyed the tree and I hope you have wonderful fun quilting.